So these are the things which we'll be discussing today. We'll first start with a brief profile of mine, even though Professor Ramprasad has introduced. It will just take 2-3 minutes. And we'll talk about project monitoring and earned value management, and will be followed by a question session. Now, today's topic will mostly, we will concentrate on 20% in project monitoring and 80% in earned value management. So let's start with my profile. I'm working as a planning and project control engineer for a company called Parsons International Limited in Qatar. I'm one of the PMC team in development of Lusail City. I'll put a picture. So this is a new city being built in Qatar, getting ready for FIFA. It's a 45 billion USD project. Basically, it's a new city. So I'm one of the team for developing this. So some of my experience, I worked in a education building, which is a green building, and development of high-end villas package, which is of 120 villas. A tower expressway project, which is a like something called we have a national highway, something like that. Okay. And another one is a defense project. I can't share the photos, so I have not put anything. So coming to my academic profiles, I have completed my BTech Civil Engineering from Kalasingham University, Tamil Nadu. After that, I pursued my post-graduation program from NICMAR, Pune. In addition to this, I'm also a certified project management professional from the Project Management Institute of USA. And I'm also a lead green associate certified by US Green Building Council. This is same as Indian Green Building Council. And also a licensed civil engineer from Ministry of Municipality and Environment in Qatar. So with no further delays. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And also I'm pursuing my planning and scheduling professional certification from American Association of Cost Engineers. So without further delay, let's get into this. So project monitoring, it itself is a vast subject in project monitoring. I mean, in project management. This project monitoring is a very simple thing, but a lot of us miss or overlook this concept, which will end in failure of the project or improper delivery of the project. So let's take a scenario. There's a meeting going on in office. Can you see my mouse? Cursor? So he is Mr. Rogers. He is an operations head. Normal meeting is happening as Rogers is a typical manager who is always straight. He wants results. So Rogers is asking Becky, what's the status of a project? So Becky answers. Becky tells that she has completed, they have casted second floor of their tower. Let's say they're working on a tower project. So they casted second floor. And she's telling that they have placed order for blockwork material. It will be done in 2 days. So this annoys Rogers a lot. Rogers is asking, he is not asking what is going on in the project. He's asking what is the status. Becky tells that's what she told. Rogers gets more annoyed. He's asking what's the plan and actual percentage. What's the percentage which we have planned to do and what is the percentage which they have done. He's asking what is the forecasted completion date. He's also asking her more, is her project making profit or loss, the most important factor. Becky is not aware of it. Bad day for her. So he starts yelling, telling that Becky has no idea how her project is performing. And the big thing, he fires her. Typical management style. No soft corners. So let's see what's project monitoring first of all. We'll just have an introduction here because it's as I told, it's a vast subject. We'll just see what is what. That's it. So project monitoring, it is nothing but keeping a track of your project metrics and deliverables. In simple word, it means to see your project, how it is performing. Now, what are the metrics you track in this? We track what's the duration we are in. For example, it's a 60 days project. We are now in the 22nd day. We are tracking the duration. We are also tracking the scope. Scope as in, are we doing what we are supposed to do? Are we doing what we are supposed to do? Meaning we should not do anything more. We should not do anything less. More is also a problem. Less is also a problem. Main money matters. Are we making profit or loss? Meaning, are we working within the budget which is allocated for the project? For example, we priced for, let's say, 100 crores for a project. There is no point of delivering the project in 110 crores or 120 crores. Yes, it is a good point when you deliver in 90 crores or 96 crores. It's even acceptable when you deliver in 100 crores. But there's no point of working 101 crore or 102 crores. And if there is any risk or issues pertaining in the project, this risk or issues is also a major factor which will change the dynamics of the project at any given point of time. And how is my team performing? Is my team performing well, or the team's performing bad? Stakeholders and other factors. So what is project monitoring? It is nothing but overseeing all the tasks and ensure implementing as planned. In very simple words, are we working as what we are supposed to work? I plan to do something. Am I doing that or not? This is in simple words. So project monitoring, it begins as soon as the project commences. The day we sign the contract, the project starts, the project monitoring starts, and project monitoring finishes only when we hand over the project. So, okay, what you might be thinking, why is this needed, Arjit? I'll tell you why. It helps the project manager to answer the following questions. If a project manager can answer the following questions, then it is effective for him. Are the activities being carried out as planned? As we discussed, I'm supposed to do X and Y as of this date. Have I done that X and Y or not? Are we executing the project as per requirement? The client wants to give you stainless steel handrails or hand doors, whatever it is. It is not that you should not give him silver or gold. That's what it is. Are there any unforeseen consequences which will affect our project? Any external factors which can affect our project in a greater extent? Are we addressing the issues in hand? Issues may be technical issues or the client issues, internal cash flow issues, all that. Will there be any impact due to the changes given by client? Any project, it is inevitable. I mean, it is highly possible that the client will keep on giving changes because it's his project. He may change whenever he wants. We have to make sure if the changes is given by client. Is my presentation visible? Yeah. Excuse me. Compressor, sir?
Sir, once again, you stop presenting and again start presenting, sir.
Oh, sure. Okay. Visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we are here. Okay. How is my team performing? As is my structural engineer performing as he is supposed to perform? I mean, is he generating the shop drawings as per what it is required? And how the project controls guy is performing, how the site team is performing, this can be tracked here. Another main thing, are we going to finish the project on time? If the project requires you to in 24 months, there's no point of working after, completing after 25 months or 26 months. And are we spending more money than we are supposed to be? Simple words, profit or loss. So you can see here, project controls is all about self-introspection. We make a mistake and we learn from a mistake, which is like we have to correct our own mistake. Improper project monitoring could derail the project. So if we can answer all these questions, the answer will be here. Like assess the project results, improve planning, accountability can be ensured, stakeholders' perspectives will be understood, and things. Now we'll go to Becky's day when she was fired. So while Rogers and Becky, they are in the middle of conversation, our another project manager, Martin, is thanking the God, all the gods. He's thinking that, thank God Rogers did not ask him these questions. And he's thinking that he doesn't have idea or answers for the question put forward by Rogers. So he's thinking, let's call for a meeting, internal meeting in his project to get some answers for this. So he's telling, how do I arrive to a numerical which can ascertain the progress percentage? Meaning, how he can tell, yes, my plan percentage is 40% or 42% and my actual percent is 20 or 24%. There is no point in telling, I have 4 floors of tower and I have costed 3 floors. Okay, what about the other ones? There will be finishers work, there will be MEP works, there will be painting, everything. And moreover, the top management will not be interested to hear what is happening in the project because they will have like 100 projects running for them. So he's calling for a meeting to discuss how he can present the progress percentage. He's asking team, how are we going to do? How are we going to represent it? So the team comes up with many options, like a normal brainstorming session, which is good for a project management culture. One person tells, we can compare the total slab plan and total slab casted, meaning let's say we have 18 floors of tower, we'll have 19 slabs. So he's telling we completed 9 slabs, we can put 9 by 19, whatever percentage will come. Another person is giving another option. He's telling, let us take how much days elapsed, which is how much day we have worked in the element. For example, there is 56 days as of now from starting of the project. And we worked only 52 days. He's telling, let us put 52 by 56 and give the percentage. There's another one person who is telling, compare inspection request, which is more or less same as compare total slab and planned slabs. The next one is the quantities executed, the good old technique which is followed in many places. They're telling, in our project, we are supposed to do, let's say, 100 ton of concrete or 200 ton of concrete. We have done 10 ton of concrete or 20 ton of concrete. The other person tells in man hours. Man hours is nothing but when we make a project, we think how much manpower will be needed and how many hours they will work. For example, we will need 840 people. So we'll put 840 into 10, which is 10 hours working out. She's going with that. And another, at last, one person tell, let's go with earned value management. So what is this earned value management? So PMI, which is the Project Management Institute, it states, it defines earned value analysis or management is a method that allows project manager to measure the amount of work actually performed on a project beyond the basic review of cost. See, generally books give more definition. In layman terms, as of today, how much I should have done and how much I have done in terms of cost. So it is a method that permits the project to be measured by progress achieved. It helps the project to forecast the completion, what is the profit, loss, trend analysis, when we will complete, like that. So I think you could have seen this triangle. This is what we call as a project management triangle. It is basic project management 101, where we first start what is project and what is project aspects. This is what it is. Project will have scope, cost, time, integrated with quality. Now earned value tells all this will be integrated with in terms of cost and will be monitored in terms of cost. Even the time will be monitored in terms of cost. Your each and every delivery will be monitored in terms of cost. At the end of the day, cost is what we need, because no company will do a charity to deliver a project for free of cost, or burning their own pocket and delivering a project. So it is highly helpful in complex projects. So you might be thinking, what if this concept is a new concept, or it generated in this era? No, it was first implemented by Department of Defense of the US government in 1960s. Currently, earned value management is a mandatory requirement, not just in US, in Middle East, in European nations. I think even in India also, like there are some complex projects. We use earned value management. In fact, when I was working for, I was doing my interns in Tata also, we were using earned value management. So, as we told again, in simple terms, is the visible? Sir?
Sir?
Is it visible, sir? The presentation?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Okay.
But someone presenting, I request participants close your presentation.
It's okay now?
You can proceed, sir.
Okay, sure. In simple terms, it helps the project manager to know what is the progress at given point of time and the forecast the particulars. So let's say these two gentlemen who are in project. Let's say the white hat is a construction manager and the yellow hat guy is the planning engineer. So the white hat guy is asking, what is the status of a project as of today? As of today, what is the status of the project? Now, the planning engineer tells the plan percentage is 45% and we have achieved 41%. He's telling in terms of percentage. Now, he's asking the next question, will we finish the project on time? The planning engineer tells, no, our forecast shows we will be delayed by 2 months, which is we are in delay. Now, there might be a question, how the planning engineer arrived to this percentage? How did he arrive to a number called 45 and how did he arrive to a percentage called 41? This is all earned value management. Now we will see this with an example, with a small example, and it has a set of small formulas which easily can be implemented in any of your projects. So before we jump in, let's see. In a project, there are 3 M's. First is the manpower, second is the machinery, and third is the material. These are the traditional 3 M's which is called in project management. Now, as days have passed, we keep on learning from our things, or we'll roll wave. So we have developed. Now we are telling there is 4 M's. Which is the 4th M? The main thing is the money. So earned value management uses the integrated cost of the project in order to measure the progress achieved at given point of time. So in order to implement this earned value management, the first and foremost thing is you need a proper schedule. Schedule means the plan. You can see in your projects, or you would have practiced in Primavera classes or MSP classes. You make a schedule of your work. This has to be a foolproof schedule, and it has to be loaded with your cost and value of the project. Unless and until you don't have this, it's highly likely that earned value management will not work in your project. It uses a set of simple formulae to find the percentages and the project performance indices. So these are the terminologies. In fact, there are around 18 to 19 terminologies in earned value management. Since it's an introduction class, we'll just see what are the main 8 terminologies or main 8 aspects in the earned value management. So let's take an example. We have a project timeline. Let's say activity A starts from first month, finish to third month. B 3 to 6 month. C, D, E, F from 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 9 to 11, and 11 to 12 respectively. So this is our timeline. Let's say this is a sample project. We are supposed to do these activities within this time frame of 12 months. So while we get how do we win project? How do we how companies get project? Because how they do, they have proposals, they bid it, they estimate it, and they win the project. Winning the project will have this one. They will tell, the client will tell, okay, you get this project, you have to complete this project within 12 months, and I will pay you X amount, be it 100 crores or 200 crores, whatever they will give you. So is the screen visible? Ram Prasad sir? Ram Prasad sir? I think it's getting cut.
Sir?
Is my screen visible? Because I can see some other screen.
So now, can you see your screen, sir?
Can you see mine?
Yes,
no,
sir.
It gives me a notification that I'm no longer presenting.
So I removed that participant, sir. Now your screen is visible.
Okay, you can see me in terminologies. Okay.
Technologies in EVM, project timeline.
It's okay, thank you. We'll continue.
Yes.
So in our sample project, we have these 6 activities, and let's say we are assigning our total budgeted cost for these activities. For example, let's say our project is 140 million, and while developing a schedule, we will tell activity A, it will cost me 20 million, activity B 30 million, 40 million, and so on. The first and foremost terminology in EVM, the budgeted cost. Budgeted cost is nothing but the value of the project. In general operation terms, it is called the BOQ price, or selling cost of the project, meaning the price which you have signed with the client. Let's say in our sample project, our budgeted cost for the entire project will be addition of these 6 activities. It is 140 million. So as we told, the budgeted cost in our case will be 140 million. Now first we saw what is budgeted cost. Now this is how the S curve of the project will be seen. if you don't know, if you have seen this project, this curve like this, all the projects will be having this. This is nothing but time against the cost curve. It only represents you over a period of time how the project will be moving or is planned in terms of cost. So the next terminology will have something called planned value. Now, before this, we saw what is budgeted cost. Budgeted cost is nothing but the total cost of the project. Now, what is planned value? Planned value is nothing but the total value of work scheduled to be performed as of today or as of a given cutoff date. It is nothing but how much of worth of work. Please see this carefully. It is how much worth of work should have been done in the project as of this cutoff date. Let's say it's a 12 months project. We are in the 7th month. On 7th month, we want to know how much we have planned and how much it is earned. It is also called as the budgeted cost of work scheduled. We go back to our example. Let's say this black, this is nothing but our cutoff date. On end of 7th month, we want to see the status of the project. Let's say we are now in 7th month. We want to see what is today's status. So 7th month, it means that we should have completed A, B, C. Meaning our plan is to complete 100% of A. We should complete 100% of B and 100% of C. Meaning by 7th month, we should have completed A, B, C. So what will be the planned value as of 7th month? It's very, very simple. We will take an aspect of these just because only these three are to be planned. You see here, we should have done 100% of 20 million. We should have done 100% of 30 million. We should also have done 100% of 40 million. It's very simple. We should have done A, B, C. So if you add this, it will give you 90 million. This is nothing but the planned value of the project as of 7th month. So this 90 million upon 140 million, which is your budgeted cost, will give you planned percentage of 64 million. So sorry, 64%. I beg your pardon. So in our case, the planned value is 90 million and the planned percentage is 64 million, which is 90 upon 140 million. So the S curve which we saw that on 7th month, we should have achieved this point. This is the planned value. Now, next, we saw what is budgeted cost. We saw what is planned value. Now we will see what is earned value. I'll recall it again. Budgeted cost is the total cost of the project. Planned value means how much worth of work I should have done as of this cutoff date. Now we'll see earned value. It is exact opposite of planned value. How much of work actually has been done by us as of the same cutoff date which we took before. How much worth of work has been done in the project as of the cutoff date. It is also called budgeted cost of work performed. Planned value is called budgeted cost of work scheduled. Whereas earned value is called budgeted cost of work performed. Let's go back to our own example. Our plan was to complete these three activities. The ones in red color or brownish red color. Now, what is actually done? Actually, we have completed 100% of activity A. We were doing good, we completed. Now, for activity B, we should have completed 100%, but we completed only 80%. The green are the actual completed. The brownish red is the planned. We should have done 100%, but we did only 80%. Activity C, we should have done 100%, but we did only 65%. Meaning we delayed, we did not do activity B and C as planned. Now, we'll see how the earned value is calculated. 20 million into 100%, then 80% of 30, because we did only 80, we should have done 100, but we did only 80%. The next will be 65% of 40 million. Now, when we add all these, we will get an earned value of 70 million. The planned value was 90 million, and here we got 70 million. Now, how is the percentage? We have done only 50%, meaning we are delayed. We were supposed to do 64% of work. We have done 50% of work. This is quickly we can assess the project. So as we discussed, a small correction over here. It should be earned value here. The earned value is 70 million, which is 50%. Now, how our S curve will look? We are supposed to complete, or we are supposed to stand here. We delayed our project. We are standing here. Meaning it is just a representation which shows we are not doing as we are supposed to do. So the fourth and the final terminology which we will use here, the actual cost. Before we saw planned value, earned value. Now we'll see actual cost. Now, in earned value, we discussed it is the amount of work which we did. Actual cost means to the work we did as per the earned value, how much we spent. I think you got it. How much money has actually been spent for the project that has been done. We have done some work. For that work, how much has gone from our pocket. It is also called the actual cost of work performed. We'll see our timeline again. We did 100%. We did 80% of activity B, and we did 65% of activity C. And our earned value was 70 million. Now, how much did we actually spend? Maybe we spent 18 million, meaning we have done good thing. Like we saved some money here. I can put in lame terms. And here we are supposed to spend only 24 million, but we spent 28 million. Here we are supposed to do only 26 million. We are supposed to spend, but we spent already 36 million. So what will be our actual cost? Actual cost will be again the addition of these three elements, which will be 82 million. Meaning we did only 70 million worth of work, but we spent 12 million more. Now, coming to the S curve again, I'll recall again. On this point of time, we should have done this much, but we did only here. We did not do as what we thought, but to do this work, we already spent more. You can see here, the planned value is 90 million, earned value is 70 million, but the actual cost is 82 million. This will give a vague understanding telling you, a rough understanding, a quick understanding telling us we are delayed and we are in running and loss also. Typical scenario. So let's quickly recall what we discussed now. Budgeted cost, it's nothing but the total value of the project. In our case, 140 million. Planned value, how much value of work are we supposed to do? In our case, it is 90 million, which is 64%. Earned value, how much of value of work has been done? It is 70 million. Earned value is 50%. Actual cost, how much we spent for the work which we did? It is 82 million. You can see a summary over here. We were supposed to do 64%. We did only 50%, but we spent 9% more than what we are supposed to spend. Now, we saw the 4 attributes or terminology which we forms the basis of earned value management. Now, with these 4 attributes, how we can know what is the health of the project? What is the status of the project? Or I can put in easy words, what is the, how the project is performing. We will have schedule variance, cost variance, schedule performance index, and cost performance index. Now, schedule variance and schedule performance index talks about time performance. Cost variance and cost performance index talks about your time performance of the project. As it shows, it is to check the project performance. Let's quickly go in there. It's a set of simple 4 formulas which will be easy for you. Now, schedule variance, it is nothing but earned value minus planned value. If schedule variance is positive, we can tell that our project is on track and we will complete on or before time. If it is negative, which means we will be delayed. The project is not going to finish as we thought. In our case, the earned value for us was 70. The planned value was 90 million. So what will be our schedule variance? It will be 70 minus 90, which is minus 20 million. So as we told here, if it is negative, we are running behind schedule. So the project is behind schedule. These are the quick indicators which will help you to ascertain the performance of the project. Now we saw is time related. Let's go for cost related. Cost variance, it is the same formula minus difference. It is cost variance is earned value minus actual cost. If CV is positive, which means the project is within budget, we are making profit. If it is negative, means we are consuming more money, we are making loss. In our case, earned value is 70, actual cost is 82 million. It has to be, I see V here, it has to be minus 12 million. Our project is consuming more money. As indicated, this is not a good sign for an ideal project to work. Now, in terms of indicators, the last 2 concepts here, which we are going to discuss today. We saw here the schedule variance which showed us in terms of money. The same indicators will be shown here. Schedule performance index, it is earned value by planned value. If we put earned value minus planned value, it will become schedule variance. Now by planned value, if it is more than 1, the project is on track and will complete on or before the completion date. If it is less than 1, the project is going to be delayed. In our case, 70 million by 90 million, which will be 0.77. Simple aspect we are putting. The project is behind schedule. We are delayed. So this is the indicator. The same applies for cost performance index. Cost performance index is nothing but earned value divided by actual cost. So if CPI is more than 1, we are making profit. If less than 1, we are making loss. Simple terms. In our case, it will be 70 upon 82. It will be 0.85. Meaning our project is over budget. We are making loss. This will be the last one which we will discuss today. To get this earned value management, what are the requirements? First of all, before we do this earned value management, when you think about it or when you see about this, assume that you're going to work on a big project. Don't think you're going to work. See, nothing is small, nothing is big. I mean, as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam tells, you have to think big. So whenever you study earned value management, think that you are working in a big project. Let's say you're working on a metro, you're working on a city development. This is where you will understand the concept better. So the requirements for earned value. First of all, there has to be a project culture. It's also a company culture. The company should understand and it should know, yes, we need this. Then availability of project documents, which is nothing but the drawings, the price, the schedule. And as we discussed before, there has to be a robust schedule. Without no proper schedule, earned value management is gonna fail. Integrated project control system. Interdepartmental transparency. This is very, very important. There might be everyday case which you know. Hello? Is it available? I mean, is it, can you people see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, because I'm getting some noise. That's right. No problem. So the interdepartmental transparency. It's nothing but, let's say, there are different departments. Technical department which will have structural engineers. There'll be QC engineers in quality department. There'll be project controllers in project control department. Now, these people have to work in sync. If the structural department tells, no, I will not tell how much project I not have done or how much drawings I have done, he does not give you, this is not going to work. The same is the case for the project controls guy. He has to tell the technical team, boss, by today you have to do this one. By next week, we should have completed this stage. Only then this will work. So that's it. It marks the end of our presentation. I hope it was useful. This is some of my reference. Thank you. Any questions?
I request the participants put your questions in the chat. So thank you for your nice presentation, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any questions we have got here?
So far, yes. Sir, how the budget cost can be controlled?
So budget cost has to do with how much we are pricing it. Let's say there are 4 companies bidding for a tower. Okay. Company A is giving 50 crores. Company 2 is giving 52 crores. Obviously, the client will give to the 50 crore guy. That will become your budgeted cost. It is the proposal money which you are proposing. That's it.
Okay, sir. So next, how does earned value works on a project?
How does earned value work on a project? I think that's what. Now, earned value management will work, or it's ideally required in a complex project. The program which we make, we would have seen like Primavera, MSP, they'll put the activities. These activities will be loaded with this cost. Now, when we start monitoring or as works on, we'll keep on updating how much percentage we have done. With that, the Primavera will automatically generate and give you. That's how it works.
Okay, sir. The next, what are main things to be considered while we monitor a green building project?
While monitoring a green building project. Great question. Okay. For a project to be ascertain a green building, it starts from the day of design. The architect, he himself must take many, like we have some criterias, like material criterias, how much of carbon footprint will give, what will be the reflection ratio of the facade, everything will be ascertained. Now, there will be a target which the architect gives. He will think like, okay, let's get this project a 4-star rating. To get this 4-star rating, there will be some parameters put forward by the authorities. They will tell you have to do this. Now, this architect, after building his model, he will give to the project department, which is us. Now, when we build, we have to ensure we do as what the architect tells. Even a minor change in material will affect your 4-star or 3-star rating. So it starts from, it's a collaborative approach. It starts from the architect until the client, stakeholders, everyone. It's a big subject. If you're interested, you can please, the person can mail me. I'll answer them.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think there is no more questions, sir.
Okay.
So you give a very nice presentation, sir, and it was very new topic for me as well as some of the participants. They also enjoyed. You can see the chat box, sir. The presentation is good, a nice presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all for the audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I request the participants put your attendance through the Google Form link, which is already shared. So those filled your attendance, those only you will get the feedback form and e-certificate.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I
Yes,
think
sir,
some
please.
people are asking my mail ID. I'll put in my mail ID.
Yes,
Any
sir.
question, anyone can ask anytime.
You can put in the chat, sir.
Yeah, put there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
If
Thank you
any
so much for
participants are
everyone.
request, you can contact the mail ajitmanis@gmail.com.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. So the upcoming webinars tomorrow, project management using Primavera by the speaker engineer K. Ayyappan, IBM India Private Limited. I request all the participants to attend the session tomorrow on project management using Primavera, engineer K. Ayyappan. Thank you for the participants. All the participants are requested put your attendance. Finish.